guys, a little twist to our podcast today. We have our maintenance guys with us, George Gill and Gustavo over here, and my co-host, Steven.
Yeah, this is the new episode that we have today. Back to you.
So much to offer, bro.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
We can actually leave that. That was really good, man.
That was amazing. I'm embarrassed now.
No, you're fine.
Okay,
You're
that's
fine.
good.
It's okay.
So that was a good intro. I like that. So what are we going to talk about? Take it away.
That's it right there.
Thank you for joining us.
Well, I wanted to bring you guys on because we have shot several podcast episodes right now, and we've talked a lot about real estate and the ins and outs of real estate and being a new agent and whatnot. And we've kind of just touched up briefly on the property management side, but never actually dedicated an episode to property management. So
Like behind the scenes.
not just behind the scenes, just in general. I thought, what better way to talk about property management than to bring the two guys on that deal with the property management side on a daily basis and truthfully keep it together. So why don't you guys, you already introduced us, but why don't you take a second to introduce yourselves?
So, my name is Josue. I'm the supervisor.
Key Property Group?
No, what is it?
Maintenance supervisor.
I was going to say management.
Oh.
We're gonna edit this, right?
No, this is
everything's
good. This is
going-
fine. This is
okay.
fine, dude. It's not a big deal, dude. It's
So I'm
fine.
the
Maintenance supervisor.
and this is my
Maintenance technician.
Oh, there you go.
That's a cool.
And Steven's just been with us for a couple of months. So
Yeah.
actually, maybe it'd be interesting to start with you. You've been here for a couple of months.
No, the experienced guy should go first.
Well, I want to, sure, I guess, whatever you guys want, but I want to get both of your takes, particularly Josue, because this was very much a different type of setup and operation from when you originally joined to where we are now. So I definitely want to touch up on that. But given that you're the most recent hire, you've been with us for a few months now, I'm interested to get your immediate thoughts on, would you say that this is what you signed up for? I'm not sure that you were ever in property management before.
No idea that this is what I signed. I thought it would be like much more professional. No. It's the relationship with the team is on a different level. It's not like someone's like they take themselves too serious. The relationship is much more
Laid back.
understandable. It's help each other out. That's what I like.
Because you came from a background in maintenance, right? So you're familiar with
bigger companies.
right, maintenance on facilities,
Yeah.
commercial accounts or whatnot, but never residential accounts and never tenants.
No, never tenants.
So would you say that what would you say is one of the biggest challenges with that on a day-to-day basis? I mean, was there a tough learning curve for you? Was it something that was very difficult to adapt to, or has that been relatively easy?
The only thing is when we have something scheduled or something that we have planned out it's never what it is. Like you're saying, if we're going out for this to do this and that, but
something always comes up.
Even if I remember one day, I was 5 things to do, easy things, small things. I was like, I'm gonna bang this out easy, no problem. It took the whole day just to do one thing. I was stressed.
So, are you sure that the job was difficult, or do you just not know how to do your job?
I think we need to hear from a professional person.
Who trained you, actually? That's my first question.
Self-taught.
Well, look, you actually brought up a good point, because I would argue that that's one of the most difficult aspects of the property management side is the unpredictability that comes with it. And for all of the things that we do, not just on an office scale, but also Josue and me on an individual level when we're having our meetings, trying to figure out how we can streamline our process and make things a lot more streamlined and efficient. We can never fully eliminate the unpredictability that comes with property management, and so I admire your resilience, I guess, for sticking with us, because I know that that's one of the most difficult aspects, and yeah, it's something that's pretty difficult to adapt to, I'm sure.
I mean, it's definitely not an easy job, but and by the way, I'm speaking, I have no idea this is how it is, but is it a little bit exciting that no day is ever the same as the last one? You know, like,
I like that.
I know that the jobs are always like sort of like the same sort of thing, I guess, but because you're working in different properties, you're dealing with different people, you know, it kind of like...
Yeah, there's always something new.
Exactly,
It's
exactly.
not always the same thing. And it's kind of funny, touch base on what you mentioned earlier. It was like my first day here, because I come from, you know, used to work in the union and all that stuff. I used to work in bigger projects. So when I first came here, I was like, all right, change a light bulb, change a fixture, change
Takes 15
a
breaks.
doorknob. It took like the whole day. So I was like, oh crap. I felt so bad. I told George, I was like, yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I doing wrong?
And it's funny because that's what happened to you the first day,
the
first
first-
immediate day. He
yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm gonna bang these out.
No.
Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah.
No, you gotta take these first.
It's just so time consuming. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, so let's backtrack a little bit. I want to talk about your early days, Josue, because you were our first hire.
Yes.
So we brought you on, or I guess at that point it was just me. So I brought you on.
Just took me out of that.
You weren't in the picture.
Well, you weren't part of it then.
I put in a good word for
there you
you
go.
and
You were part of it
everything.
then.
It's like,
You came referred by Gustavo, and
Oh, you
it
were?
was just me at that time, and you were my first hire, and arguably the most important. Looking at you,
Yeah, that hurts.
you're not the most important.
oh no, I know that. I know that. I'm holding that back.
Arguably the most important because I don't know if you remember, but we originally agreed on a part-time arrangement,
Yes.
and we lasted with that for like a week, 2 weeks max, and we said we have to switch you over to full-time. It's just that's
still
how
waiting
much
on that
of a
part.
workload. Same thing with you, actually. It's interesting.
What,
how
you waiting
things
for the
work out.
part-time
No,
part?
the full time.
Oh, the full-time
Yeah.
I
part.
was gonna say, I thought he was upset. I thought this was just part-time. I have to work full-time every week.
No.
But yeah, so I guess going back to that time when we first hired you, you started off as just being the go-to contact for maintenance, a handyman person, and obviously the person that would also communicate with the owners. Now that you have someone working with you, we're slowly shifting you to more of a formal managerial role, and so
That's a big word.
I guess, do you have any thoughts or any 2 cents on what has been the most challenging aspect about that, and going from what you and I have discussed in the past? You're very used to go to work, this is what I have to do for the day, do my work, go home. You know, you're very good at doing what you do, but being the one to provide the schedule and the workload and manage all that is a new
No, yeah.
Skill
It's
set,
definitely a new thing for me. I'm learning all of this, you know, from
The paper.
from- So yeah, I don't know anything about this, you know. So it was all new to me. It is still difficult for me, still, even just to plan out my day. So
Yeah.
imagine trying to plan out his day.
yeah.
But
Well, I think that just, I mean, it speaks volumes as to how much of a moving part this entire, not just our office, but the business itself is. I mean, we can plan for certain things. We can try to create systems and procedures to follow, but at the end of the day, there's so much that we can't fully plan for, that it requires that, I guess, agility for you to be able to shift your focus or adapt as needed. So, I mean, coming from the type of work that you were used to, I admire very much how quickly you've been able to develop those skills, and how willingly you've been taking on those new sets of duties and responsibilities. And you know, in the interest of us moving in the right direction with the growth mentality, I think that I couldn't, you know, it speaks highly of the type of team that we have, because you know, we're all learning as we go, and we're adapting to challenges. And so I appreciate that a lot, that you were willing to take on that challenge that you may not have been used to, but I think that will help both you professionally and the office. And so yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out why I'm here. This is a property management episode. I have nothing to do with this.
Well, how about-
And I want nothing to do with this. I don't like that side of the business. I'm okay.
So how about this? Since we manage one of your properties, how is your experience with Key Property itself handling your property?
Great. I haven't even driven by that house in 3 months.
That's
Wait,
well taken care of.
have any of us driven by it?
I don't know if it's complete trust or complete hatred towards the house. I have no idea which one it is, but either way, I'm happy.
Well, I think that you can add something valuable because you can speak from a property owner perspective.
Right.
You were a first-time home buyer and your first property was a multifamily property, investment property that was, well, not fully occupied, but it already had tenants in it. And so very quickly you ran into some challenges and you ran into some difficulty in managing it with your day-to-day obligations. So why don't you speak a little bit about that?
Well, it was time consuming. It was very annoying work, you know, having to meet tenants or potential tenants there. It was just not for me. It was just not for me. Issues with, and this is just with like 2 tenants, you know, and like, like remember the first month that I closed on my house, one of my tenants got deported and the other one got arrested. It's like,
That's amazing.
how does that happen? Well, what do you say?
That's an amazing story.
Yes, right? The end. So, I mean, who does that happen to? Like, that's unbelievable. So that right there just told me that it's not for me. Just that alone. And obviously I tried to push through that and handle things myself, but it's too time consuming. It's too frustrating.
Yeah.
Not my thing.
Well, you don't want more properties?
No, yeah, but I wouldn't want to manage them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
So you know, that just, if anything, that made me appreciate what you guys do even more because it's not fun. And I'm glad that you guys enjoy it because if
Enjoy is not the word. I don't think about that.
That was almost rehearsed.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that we did.
well, what I'm saying is that if somebody has to do it, at least it's not someone that hates doing it.
No.
Can we agree on that at
Yes,
least?
yeah.
You guys don't hate doing it, right?
No.
Okay, all right, cool. That was a close one.
Well, you make a good point because in some of our previous episodes, we mentioned the importance of recognizing what you are good at and where your time is best spent. And so I think that coming from a property owner's perspective, that's a good point. If someone's thinking to themselves, you know what, I want to get into property ownership and own an investment property, but I don't think it's in the cards right now for me to hire a property manager, so I'm going to try to do it all myself. Very quickly, you'll find out that if you are not a landlord by career or as a day job and you have another day job, your time is best spent doing that. And it can easily become, dependent on how many properties you own, a full-time job managing your investment properties. And is that really the best use of your time? So I think it's very important for property owners who are on the fence as to what advantage a property manager might bring or what can they get out of a property manager when they can easily do the things themselves, is that alone, aside from the laundry list that I can argue are other benefits to property management, I think that the reality that your time is always best spent doing, well, not always, but a lot of times, depending on what your job is, it's best spent doing that one thing as opposed to splitting your time and splitting your efforts between 2 different things. And I think that too often, not just property owners, but agents who try to be the marketer, the listing agent, the buyer agent, the transaction coordinator, more times than not, they fail to realize that maybe it's best if you just focus on selling and hire a transaction coordinator, hire a marketing director, hire a photographer. Don't try to do everything yourself because that's not how you're going to grow.
Well, from my experience, you know, it took me, I thought I was going to be able to do it. I didn't want to, you know, it wasn't fun, but I thought I was going to be able to do what I needed to do on my own. And then it took me 4 months of wasted time that I could have just hired a company to do it for me from the beginning, and it would have saved me more time. So if you're on the fence, first of all, get off the fence because if it breaks, they have to go fix it. But honestly, thank you.
That was amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Another amazing story.
Cool story, bro. Tell it again.
Here's my autograph. Come back later. So if you're on the fence, just hire someone because every month that goes by is money
Hire
that
us.
you. Sure.
Yeah.
Every month that goes by is just wasted time, wasted money, and the headache as well. You know, it's frustrating. So it's emotionally exhausting as well.
Yeah, true. So, a hypothetical question then. I guess not hypothetical, it can be...
Real life question.
Yeah, real life question actually. So we are relatively new at this. We're just a couple of years in. You've been with us since the beginning. You recently joined. But all in all, young company in its age. So ideally, where would you say you see yourself in 5 years?
Damn, you didn't prep him for this question. You're just gonna throw him on the spot like that.
I'm gonna be behind that office
Oh.
table over there.
Oh.
Well, so let me I guess
Toilets.
let me preface it a little bit then,
high-end
because
toilets.
we've more or less had this conversation before, so you can I won't leave it so open-ended for you. We've talked about obviously ascending you into a managerial role, but a couple of times we've actually talked very candidly. Is this actually what you want to do? Do you actually feel comfortable in a supervisor or manager role with a team under you, or would you rather just be the person that goes out and does things and it just shows up and gets things done
Just
as
works
best
with
as
his
they
hands.
are? Right, because you're a very skilled person. But so having said that,
No pressure, bro. You
in
gotta
an
answer.
ideal
It's
role.
okay.
Making him
No,
uncomfortable.
you and I have spoken very candidly, and you
Right.
know that I
But
don't.
was he honest with you, or is the truth coming out right now in front of all these 3 cameras?
Is it?
like
It remains
I told
to be
you guys
seen.
Before on that.
Is this a
drunk
skill
night.
set that you want to, that you actually would like to develop? Or do you
No,
see
of
yourself, you
course.
know what, I don't think I'm cut out for this. I much rather enjoy doing the labor because that's what I know I'm good at.
Well, I do enjoy the labor, the hands-on, and everything. The only thing is sometimes these tenants. I don't know. Like I told you guys before, these tenants is just
A challenge in itself.
a challenge in
yeah.
itself. Yeah. So sometimes they back you up with work, or they just nag, and it's
Oh.
kind of annoying. But I guess that's like any other job. It's just, but the thing is that my background is mostly all the houses that were empty and
Right. You weren't
stuff like
used
I
for
was
that
not used
to that variable.
So it's just a matter of transitioning into this position and getting used to it and building my skills.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's more or less what I kind of was getting to, because we have had the conversation before, and I don't want to put you in a position that you are not going to be happy in. I
Right.
mean, obviously, I would like to see you progress in
So
a
if he's
certain
not having
direction.
that position, I can take
There
that,
might
right?
be an opening. No, I'm kidding.
Nice. Look at
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
But yeah,
there
so-
wasn't even an opportunity yet. You just jumped on it.
Yeah.
I respect that, man.
And you didn't even want to show up to the podcast today. Look at
I don't know about that.
So it's encouraging. It's encouraging to see that you are, like I said, I mentioned it before, but encouraging to hear you reinforce the thought that you're open to developing those skills and hopefully transition into a different type of role, because obviously that's what we would like for you. All right, Steven, same question.
I would just be right under him. Yeah, I'll be the
So
assistant.
you want him to get as high as possible so that you can just be right under him.
Just be like, you're doing good.
Yes, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very supportive.
So he does everything. I'm just be like, you're doing a
That's
great job.
number 2.
Yeah. You know the guy he talks to? I
Assistant
just,
to the maintenance supervisor.
no, take out the 2.
That's
Office
awesome. No,
reference.
well, look, I mean, I think that.
Oh, the same question though?
Oh yeah, did you
With
want
the 5 year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I had the interview with you at the very beginning, I was really excited for the fact of growing with a brand new company. You just go higher, you just keep growing, and it's something new that I never had before.
Right.
Meaning that you're placed in this position, and that's it. You're kind of stuck there.
Right.
There's no growth, there's no goal, there's no 5-year, 10-year plan. But here, there's that possibility. And I like that a lot, and because of the fact of I have known Josue for years,
I'm sorry.
and that's okay.
Yeah, that's why I said because I know what it feels like. I'm really sorry.
The same amount of years, 10 years,
No, I think he's known me longer.
longer than 10 years. Dang.
So he's sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry actually. Okay, shoulders ready for your.
So that's a good point, and I appreciate that, because that's really what we try to have at the center of our culture, and it's that growth mindset and the
Which a lot of people don't even realize it. I feel like, especially in positions like you guys, I feel like you said before, these are people that just get a job and they just do that, and there's no thought even to move up in any kind of way, or just
Yeah,
switch it
exactly,
up, or
exactly.
do anything else. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and I think that we're making good progress, because I mean, as I mentioned earlier, more or less as a joke, but really it was serious. We brought you on as a part-time position, and you've been full time for the few months that you've been with us. So it just goes to show the amount of work that we have and the amount of work that we can potentially grow into. And you know, if down the line there's the need to bring other maintenance people on, then that just means that the existing team has the opportunity to move up. And so I mean that's really what we want to try to push, and that's why I consider myself lucky to have a team that shares that mindset and that growth mentality. So I appreciate it.
So
Thank
if you're
you, guys.
looking to grow with a new company, apply below. I just thought I would take advantage of this for the ad. You can just cut that out afterwards. Thank you. Move on.
No, I think that's it. I think that was a pretty good episode.
Any thoughts for you guys? Any changes that you would like to that you will see? And once again, I'm not in this side of the industry, so I could be completely out of
We
line.
haven't talked about this.
Yes. Like anything that you guys feel like that could make things easier for you guys, I guess? Just in general, like I know I don't want to get down, I don't want to go into like a whole conversation, but
In general, I don't think so.
no.
At least
That
not
makes
for
it-
me. I mean, because he, pretty much wherever I lack, we have training,
Support,
we have talks
right.
with George, so that's a good thing. Same thing. I'm trying. I'm not well versed as George, but I try to help you in what I can.
Oh,
But-
no, I was gonna say what I don't know. I know you have more experience, and what I lack, I fall upon you like,
Right.
what's going on, and then we get it done.
This is so
Oh,
cute.
that's
I love
adorable.
it. I love
I got the
it.
same
I love that.
impression.
Relationship.
They're both like, "Do I love you, bro?"
Yeah,
You more.
Yeah, man.
We complete each other.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it.
Perfect. Well, guys, thank you so
Don't
much
be jealous.
I am a little bit actually. That used to be me with Josue.
Oh, my boy.
It's
So
the hair, bro. It's the
Yeah.
hair.
I appreciate you guys
If you
coming
grow
on.
it could be like that.
Yeah, I tried to grow it, but
Yeah,
I
you got
couldn't
the
manage
beard.
it.
You just gotta.
I couldn't manage
He
it.
tried to grow it halfway through. We lost 6 clients because they didn't want to see him anymore. Yeah, it was horrible. It's not a true story, by the way. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank
for
you.
having us.
No, thank
Awesome.
you. Yeah.
Take care, guys. Bye.
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 Bye.